Welcome back to our channel. In this video, we reveal some of the most valuable coins in the world, coins that collectors and investors are willing to pay thousands or even millions for. Imagine waking up one ordinary morning, grabbing a handful of loose change from your kitchen counter, and discovering that one tiny penny, yes, a single 1-cent coin, could lift you into a lifestyle of abundance, freedom, and wealth. This isn't a fantasy. It's exactly what's happening right now in the rare coin market, where a specific 2009 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny error has surged in demand and is now commanding an astonishing market value of up to $988,000. Before you even blink, just ask yourself this: what if that life-changing penny is already sitting somewhere in your home, waiting to be noticed? And don't laugh, because someone watching this might actually own one. The only question is, will they realize it in time? Now, I know what you're thinking. A penny worth nearly $1 million? That sounds like one of those unbelievable viral stories. But let me stop you right there. The 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial Series was already historic, marking the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. But the Denver minted versions with specific striking errors have become the crown jewels of modern American coinage. And if you just felt your heart beat a little faster, good. That's the exact instinct successful collectors follow. Because wealth favors the alert, the curious, and the ones willing to check every coin that passes through their hands. But stay with me, because in a minute, I'll reveal exactly why this penny is skyrocketing toward the $1 million mark, and the tiny details you must know to identify one. And trust me, you'll want to hear this before someone else beats you to it. To truly understand why this coin is in such high demand, you need to step into the story behind it. The year 2009 marked a monumental moment for U.S. coinage. The Mint released 4 special reverse designs celebrating Lincoln's life, from his humble beginnings in Kentucky to his historic presidency. The Denver Mint, known for high-volume production, delivered billions of coins. But in the midst of all that mass manufacturing, a handful of coins slipped through with rare, spectacular minting errors that transformed them from everyday currency into elite collector treasure. And here's where excitement meets opportunity. Some of these 2009 D pennies were struck with dramatic doubling, off-center impressions, weak strikes, or die deterioration that produced unique, unmistakable flaws. Instead of lowering their value, these rare imperfections sent demand through the roof, because collectors don't want ordinary. They want extraordinary. Right now, the coin collecting community is buzzing like never before. Auction houses are reporting aggressive bidding wars for these error pennies. Private buyers are offering premium prices just to secure one before values climb even higher. And here's a quick pattern interrupt for you. Have you ever spent a penny just to realize later that it could have bought you a beach house? If the answer is no, good, you still have time to avoid becoming that cautionary tale. As grading companies authenticate more of these error pieces, the highest quality ones, especially those in near-perfect condition, are breaking into the extreme high-value tier. That's where we see sales soaring into the hundreds of thousands. And now, the most elite examples are pushing toward the unbelievable but very real $988,000 figure. Now pause. Take that in. A penny worth more than most homes in America. And we're still not done. Because in a moment, I'll reveal the characteristics that separate the ordinary from the ultra-rare. And one of them is something you can spot with the naked eye. If you know where to look, let's transition into the part you've been waiting for: the real value, the real signs, and the real opportunity sitting in front of you. Remember, these elite 2009 D-era pennies are not just rare. They are aggressively sought after by investors, collectors, and wealth builders who understand that owning the right coin at the right moment can feel like catching lightning in a bottle. And right now, lightning is striking the 2009 D Lincoln era market. So what makes these coins so valuable? It's the combination of historical significance, limited error population, and skyrocketing collector competition. Some exhibit double dies on Lincoln's profile or the anniversary reverse designs. Others show striking misalignments or early die state flaws. A few feature dramatic die cracks or cuds that give them unmistakable uniqueness. The rarer the error, the higher the grade, the closer it gets to that coveted $988,000 mark. But here's where urgency enters the story. As more people learn about this coin, supply is tightening. And once the few remaining high-value examples find permanent homes in private collections, prices will only rise from here. If you've ever dreamed of selling an old penny for life-changing wealth, this is the moment to check, identify, and take action. And yes, humor me for 1 second, because imagine telling your friends, "I upgraded my car, my house, and my bank account because of a penny." They'd probably laugh, at least until you pull up in your new lifestyle. As we move toward the final insight, here's your cliffhanger. In just a moment, I'll tell you the number 1 detail experts look for when determining whether a 2009 penny sits in the ordinary pile or the nearly $1 million elite category. And if you missed that detail, you could unknowingly spend a fortune in pocket change. So here it is. Experts always begin by studying the minting anomalies, specifically the doubling or structural distortions around Lincoln's portrait or the commemorative reverse designs. These are the signs that elevate the coin into the upper tier. If your coin carries strong, visible error traits and remains in excellent condition, you may be holding one of the most valuable pennies in modern American history. This is the era of the hidden fortunes, the era where wealth hides in plain sight, and the era where someone, maybe even you, will discover that small copper treasure that transforms everything. What will you do next? Will you let this moment pass? Or will you check your coins, seize the opportunity, and step into the wealthy lifestyle waiting on the other side of one extraordinary penny? Imagine walking into your attic, opening an old coffee jar full of forgotten pocket change, and discovering a single penny, dark brown, unassuming, almost ordinary. But then, something catches your eye. Tiny detail, a missing mark. Your heart beats a little faster. Could this simple copper coin really be worth more than a luxury home? Could it possibly be the legendary 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny, now valued at a staggering $789,000? Welcome back to the channel where the smallest treasures can change your life in the biggest ways. Before we dive in, let me ask you something. When you were young, did you ever imagine that a penny, yes, a penny, could pay off your mortgage, buy your dream car, or fund the lifestyle you've always pictured but never quite reached? It sounds unbelievable, until you hear what happened to collectors who held on to a 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny without knowing what they had. The truth is, the rarest coins aren't hiding in museums. They're hiding in kitchen drawers, glove compartments, piggy banks, and old boxes kept for sentimental reasons. And today, you're about to find out why this particular penny is shaking the entire coin collecting market. Act 1 begins with a mystery. The year was 1944. World War II was still burning. America needed steel for the war effort, so the U.S. Mint switched to making pennies out of steel in 1943. But in 1944, they returned to copper, except for a few strange and accidental survivors. Pennies struck in the wrong metal or under unexpected conditions. Hidden among these are the 1944 no-mint mark wheat pennies with unique errors that collectors have been obsessing over for decades. These coins are not just rare. They're historical accidents frozen in time. And that's where their value skyrockets. But stay with me, because what happens next in Act 2 is where the fear, excitement, and life-changing potential collide. Act 2 is where everything changes. Picture this. Someone discovers a 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny in ordinary circulation. No gloves, no magnifying glass, just luck. At first, they don't think much of it. But when they learn what they have, when they realize this is one of the most aggressively sought-after wheat pennies on the market, panic hits. That fear of missing out punches hard. What if they mishandled it? What if they spent it without knowing? What if someone else has one lying forgotten at the bottom of a purse or tool drawer right now? And yes, I'm talking to you, because that possibility is very real. Now here's the twist, the pattern interrupt. Ever wonder why pennies disappear from your pocket faster than socks disappear from the dryer? Maybe, just maybe, one of them escaped with a secret worth nearly $800,000. Humor aside, this is where collectors, auction houses, and wealthy investors start circling, because these coins don't sit on the market for long. When one becomes available, phones ring, bids fly, and the demand becomes downright electric. The last verified sale of a high-grade 1944 no-mint mark error penny shocked even the experts, soaring to over $789,000. and the market hasn't calmed down one bit. But here's where Act 2 ends with a cliffhanger. Because the truth is, the coin's value is still rising. The demand is exploding. And what you're about to learn in Act 3 could be the difference between someone else cashing in or you discovering your own hidden fortune. Act 3 reveals the path forward. Today's coin market is hotter, faster, and more competitive than at any time in history. Wealthy buyers are chasing rare wheat pennies like they're gold bars dipped in diamonds. If you're holding a 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny, especially one with unusual features, clean edges, sharp dates, clear wheat lines, or unexpected coloration, you're not holding a coin. You're holding a financial opportunity that people dream about. And the current market value of $789,000 isn't a ceiling. It's a starting point. Remember this: scarcity drives demand, and demand drives wealth. Let's pause and ask a question to reset your attention. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Not just dumped them onto the counter, but truly examined them? Because somewhere out there, maybe in your home right now, is a coin waiting for its moment to shine. And the window to sell rare wheat pennies at record-breaking prices has never been wider. Collectors are actively hunting. Auctions are heating up. And the pressure to secure these coins before they disappear into private collections forever has created an urgency like never before. The powerful truth is this: stories of ordinary people discovering life-changing money inside everyday objects are real. It's happening now. And it's happening in your country, in your generation, among people who, just like you, are ready to step into a wealthier, more abundant lifestyle. That's why the 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny continues to dominate headlines in the coin world. It represents hope, opportunity, and the possibility that your next turn of a penny could turn into the turning point of your life. As we reach the end of this video, the real question becomes, what will you do next? Will you ignore that jar of coins sitting in your cabinet? Or will you take the next 10 minutes to check your pennies? Because the next person who finds a 1944 no-mint mark wheat penny worth over $789,000 could be you. This is your moment, your opportunity, your invitation to wealth that most people will never even realize they passed by. The smallest penny might just hold the biggest reward. And in the world of rare coins, the ones who look are the ones who win. Imagine holding something so small, so common, yet so unbelievably rare that collectors today are paying up to $765,000 for it. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1-cent coin, a 1946 wheat penny with no mint mark, and with one extraordinary error that turns it into a treasure worth more than most people's homes. And what's even more thrilling is that thousands of these pennies are still hiding in old jars, tucked inside childhood collections, and forgotten in dresser drawers across America, maybe even in yours. But before we uncover the secret flaw that transforms this copper coin into a six-figure miracle, let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your old pennies? Seriously, are you absolutely certain you haven't been carrying a small fortune without even realizing it? If you're thinking, well, I probably don't have anything special, stay with me. That one thought has cost countless people life-changing opportunities. And tonight, you're about to see why. The screen cuts to historical images. Post-war America, bustling streets, life in 1946. The year was 1946. The war had ended. Soldiers were returning home, industries were resetting, and the U.S. Mint was transitioning from wartime metals back to standard coin production. Millions of wheat pennies rolled off the presses in Philadelphia, many ordinary, many forgotten. But among them, thanks to a rare and unexpected die flaw, an error slipped through. A subtle, almost invisible mistake that today has collectors in a bidding frenzy. This isn't a myth. This isn't speculation. This is a documented phenomenon driving some of the highest auction prices for any modern-era penny. And the reason? Extreme scarcity paired with massive demand. And before you say, well, great, I can add that to the list of impossible things like finding matching socks, trust me, this one is very possible. People find rare pennies every day. The only difference is the ones who look. The narrator transitions smoothly into Act 2, where the emotional build intensifies. So what makes the 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny so powerful in the collector market? It's not just age. It's not just nostalgia. It's the error, an astonishing misstrike that causes the coin to show an abnormal doubling on the obverse, especially around Lincoln's profile and lettering. To the untrained eye, it might look like simple wear. But to experts, and now to you, this doubling is a blazing neon sign that your penny isn't ordinary. It's extraordinary. And the demand for these rare mistruck coins has skyrocketed. The last known sale reached an astonishing $765,000. And the wildest part? That price isn't the ceiling. It's the new baseline. But here's where things get even more shocking. This coin's true rarity isn't fully known. Many believe there are still unaccounted examples out there. And every new discovery pushes the market value even higher. So if you think the top collectors have already grabbed them all, think again. Act 2 continues with motivational energy rising like a tide, lifting the viewer emotionally. Right now across America, everyday people just like you, are discovering that their dusty coin jars, their inherited collections, their forgotten albums contain pennies worth cars, houses, and in some cases, entire new lifestyles. Because when you hold a six-figure coin, everything changes. The fear of, what if I missed my chance, transforms into the excitement of, what if I'm next? And you should feel that excitement. You deserve to, because the opportunity is real, the rewards are real, and the timing has never been better. The rare coin market is on fire, and the 1946 no-mint mark double-die wheat penny is one of the hottest pieces fueling that blaze. But let's keep the momentum going with something your future self will thank you for. As collectors hunt aggressively, as auctions spark bidding wars, as prices climb month after month, one thing becomes absolutely certain. The person who identifies, grades, and sells their rare penny at the right moment stands to profit more now than at any other point in history. And if you're thinking this all sounds too good to be true, here's the twist. The truth is, this entire industry is built on people discovering value where no one else bothers to look. It's built on turning the ordinary into the extraordinary. And that's exactly why stories like the 1946 wheat penny exist. Because hidden wealth favors the curious, the brave, the ones willing to take 5 minutes to examine something most people overlook. And that single decision could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Imagine what that kind of money would do for your life. Imagine paying off every debt. Imagine an early retirement. Imagine gifting your family the kind of stability they deserve. It's not just a coin. It's a doorway, a transformation waiting in the palm of your hand. And the urgency is real because as more people learn about these rare errors, more coins get found, graded, and sold. And when supply tightens, prices explode. And who knows, maybe your future self will look back at this moment and laugh, saying, "Wow, I almost spent this penny on a cup of coffee. Good thing you didn't." So tonight, don't just watch. Take action. Check your coins. Look for that 1946 no-mint mark wheat penny with the double-die features. Because one simple discovery could be worth $765,000. And possibly even more as the market continues its upward surge. You're not just searching for a coin. You're searching for possibility, wealth, freedom, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity you have every reason to claim. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins, the kind that's been sitting untouched in a drawer for decades, and discovering that one tiny copper coin, just a single cent, could be worth more than most homes in America. A simple penny valued today at over $925,000. Before you blink or say that sounds impossible, stay with me. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why a 1950 D-mint mark wheat penny error coin is sending shockwaves through the collector market, why demand is exploding, and why your own pocket change or inherited collection might hold the key to the wealthier lifestyle you've always imagined. Act 1 begins with a truth many people overlook. America's most valuable treasures don't always sparkle. Sometimes they're hiding in plain sight, disguised as everyday coins you've walked past 1,000 times. In 1950, the Denver Mint produced millions of wheat pennies, yet a rare handful left the presses with a striking mint error so uncommon. Collectors chase them with almost feverish intensity today. And here's where the story gets interesting. One of these error pennies recently commanded a market value reaching an unbelievable $925,000. Just imagine holding a coin that small, knowing it could change your life faster than any scratch-off lottery ticket ever could. It's almost poetic. And yes, you may be wondering if coins like these are still out there. Let's put it this way. If one slipped through unnoticed until now, what else might be hiding in old coffee cans, dusty attic boxes, or inherited estates? Before we go deeper, let me ask you something as a pattern interrupt. Have you ever thrown away a penny because you thought it wasn't worth bending down to pick up? Well, after today's video, you may start treating every penny like royalty. If your heart didn't skip a beat at that thought, don't worry. It will. In Act 2, the tension rises. This is where collectors, sellers, and everyday Americans collide with a market that is growing more competitive by the day. The 1950 D-Wheat penny era coin stands out not only because of its rare mint anomaly but also because of its immaculate surviving examples in the highest grades. These coins were never supposed to exist in the form they did. The minting slip gives them a fingerprint, unique, unmistakable, and incredibly valuable. As more collectors turn their attention toward mid-century era coins, prices have surged with no sign of slowing down. Every month, new buyers enter the arena, eager to pay premium prices. And if that doesn't spark a little excitement, think about this. Scarcity plus demand equals opportunity. Not someday, now. But here's where the urgency really kicks in. The longer rare coins circulate in private drawers instead of hitting the market, the more auction prices escalate. Serious buyers aren't waiting. They're hunting. And they're willing to pay for top-grade 1950D-era pennies because they know exactly what these coins represent: stability, rarity, and prestige. If bidding wars were thunderstorms, the 1950D-era penny would be the lightning bolt striking the same collectors again and again. And yes, that means if you're holding one and don't even know it, the next big sale could be yours. Think about that for a second. Really think about it. And just when you believe you've fully understood the power of this little coin, a twist comes in like a cliffhanger. Not all 1950 D-Wheat pennies are equal. Some look ordinary to the untrained eye. Some hide their era characteristics so subtly they've gone unnoticed for 75 years. Your penny could be one of them. That tiny unknown possibility alone is what keeps collectors up late at night, digging, searching, hoping. And yes, it should keep you watching closely, because the difference between a typical wheat penny and one worth nearly $1 million can come down to a single overlooked detail. Act 3 brings everything together with clarity and purpose. If you want to sell old coins, build wealth, or step confidently into the world of rare collectibles, knowledge is your best currency. The market for wheat pennies is booming. Buyers are hungry, and the value of key era coins, especially the 1950D mint mark variants, is rising with impressive strength. This is not a fading trend. It's a rising tide. The kind of moment that rewards the people who act, not the people who hesitate. So here's the empowering truth. Your journey to uncovering real, tangible wealth might be as simple as reevaluating what you already own. That dusty jar of pennies could be more valuable than the newest tech gadget. That old coin album inherited from a relative could be hiding a treasure your family never knew they had. And when you understand how much collectors are willing to pay, $925,000 and climbing, the path to a wealthier lifestyle feels closer than ever. And before we close, I'll leave you with one final cliffhanger. Every month, new discoveries surface. Coins once assumed ordinary turn out to be extraordinary. And the next headline-making 1950 D-Wheat penny error could be sitting in someone's drawer right now. Maybe even yours. Stay tuned, stay curious, and check your coins. Because in the world of rare pennies, today's 1-cent piece might just be tomorrow's fortune. Most people will walk past a penny on the sidewalk without a second glance. But what if I told you, the penny you ignore today could be the one that buys your dream home tomorrow? Tonight, we're diving into one of the most electrifying stories in American coin history, the 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny, a coin so valuable, so rare, and so unexpectedly powerful that collectors today have watched its value soar to an astonishing $982,000. Yes, a coin once worth a single cent, now flirting with $1 million price tag. And the strangest part? It was never meant to be worth anything more than a copper whisper in your pocket. As we explore this story together, brace yourself, because by the end of this video, you may look at your old jars, drawers, and dusty attic boxes with a completely different kind of urgency, one fueled by possibility, by excitement, and yes, by the fear of missing out on the next life-changing discovery. But before we reveal what makes this coin so unbelievably valuable, let me ask you something. When was the last time a penny made your heartbeat rise? No? That's about to change. Stay with me. The story begins in the early 1950s. America was rising, factories were roaring, and coins were being minted by the billions. The humble wheat penny was the backbone of everyday commerce. Millions were made, but only a microscopic handful hold the breathtaking secret we're about to uncover. You see, the 1951 penny produced in Philadelphia normally looks identical to any other wheat penny. No mint mark, plain and simple. But behind the quiet copper surface of a select few lies a rare minting error. An error so elusive most collectors will go their entire lives without seeing it. And here's where things get interesting. Some of these pennies were struck using slightly misaligned dies, others with doubled features hidden so subtly you'd miss them unless you inspected them under high magnification. The most valuable among them exhibit a ghosting effect, an ultra-rare anomaly where the wheat stalks and lettering show faint doubling that only the trained eye can spot. But to collectors, that subtlety is gold, or rather, nearly $1 million worth of gold. Now, here's a question to jolt your attention back into high gear. If a penny can be worth $982,000 because of a tiny, barely noticeable error, what else around your house might be hiding quiet, life-changing value? Don't panic, but don't relax either. This is where demand skyrockets. Today, advanced collectors and high-end investors chase these error pennies with an intensity usually reserved for luxury real estate. Private auctions whisper about them. Bidding wars erupt the moment one surfaces. And when they hit the market, they ignite excitement you can practically feel in the room. This is the kind of coin that doesn't just sell, it transforms lifestyles. But that's not the end of the story. There's one more piece, and it's the part that keeps collectors awake at night in recent years. A verified 1951 no-mint mark wheat penny with this extremely rare error shocked the collecting world when it hit the market. The final selling price? A staggering $982,000. Almost $1 million for something most people have sitting in old jars, purses, or dusty family collections. Because coins like this are not random luck. They are discovered by people exactly like you. People who simply decided not to overlook the coins already in their hands. People who understood that wealth is not only earned. Sometimes, it's uncovered. Imagine finding the very coin that sets a new record. Imagine auction houses competing for your attention. Imagine the excitement of knowing that one tiny piece of copper you've had for decades could fund the dream home, the early retirement, the freedom you've always wanted. But here's the cliffhanger you didn't expect. There are still more of these rare 1951 errors believed to be out there. Experts estimate that only a portion of them have surfaced. That means that right now, as you're watching this, one could be in a forgotten drawer only a few feet away from where you're sitting. Maybe in a jar in the kitchen. Maybe in a box you've never sorted through. Maybe mixed with pennies you haven't checked in years. And the market is hotter than ever. Demand is sky high. Wealthy collectors are watching every auction like hawks, and prices continue to climb. In a world where opportunity often feels harder to reach, this is one of the rare chances where anyone, yes, truly anyone, can find a treasure worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the question becomes, what will you do after this video ends? Will you shrug it off, hoping luck strikes someday? Or will you take action? Search your coins, evaluate your collection, and maybe uncover a piece of American history worth a fortune. Act I begins with a single moment. A moment where your entire financial reality can shift because of something so small, so ordinary, so overlooked, that it's probably sitting in your home right now. Imagine this. A single 1952 S wheat penny? Yes, that tiny copper coin most people dismiss as pocket change, recently shocked the coin-collecting world with a staggering market value reaching $678,000. That's right, a penny worth more than most houses in America. If that doesn't make your heart skip a beat, check your pulse or your coin jar. One might be holding your future. The truth is, rare coins like the 1952 S mint mark error penny aren't just pieces of metal. They're miniature time capsules with the power to rewrite someone's financial story. And in today's world, where people are desperately trying to stay ahead, Opportunities like this aren't just exciting, they're urgent. Because these coins aren't just valuable, they're in demand. Collectors, investors, and auction houses are hunting for them more aggressively than ever. And that's exactly where your advantage begins. But before we dive into the shocking details of this six-figure penny, here's a quick thought reset. Have you ever wondered why the rarest things in life usually end up ignored? Not because they're hidden, often because they're too familiar. Like that random coffee can or old drawer filled with junk change. Well, what if that junk isn't junk at all? Act 2 opens with the real story behind the 1952 S penny. Minted in San Francisco during a period of rapid production, these coins were never expected to become anything extraordinary. But as history loves to remind us, the extraordinary is rarely expected. A small number of these pennies left the mint with a striking error, an anomaly caused during die preparation and alignment that collectors today obsess over. Tiny variations in the mint mark shape, doubling effects, and pressure inconsistencies created coins so unique that auction houses now treat them like masterpieces. And here's where the excitement builds. One such error coin, graded at an elite level, surpassed the marketplace's wildest expectations. The hammer dropped at an incredible $678,000. A penny, less than an inch across, worth more than luxury cars, designer jewelry, or many retirement portfolios. Suddenly, the idea of an ordinary person uncovering life-changing wealth isn't far-fetched. It's happening. If your palms are tingling right now, good. That feeling is possibility. But hold on to it, because this is where things get even more intense. Many Americans unknowingly own rare coins and have absolutely no idea. Every day, people pass down jars, boxes, and bags of old pennies from grandparents, parents, and family estates. They sit in basements and closets, quietly collecting dust, not realizing that they could also be collecting hundreds of thousands of dollars in value. And yes, coins like the 1952 S penny are still being discovered today. Before we move further, here's a quick pattern interrupt. Have you checked your pockets today? I mean, seriously, there's a chance your laundry machine is the most profitable business you own without even knowing it. As Act 3 approaches, the urgency becomes real. The market for rare error coins is booming, but like every booming market, timing matters. Collectors are aggressively expanding their inventories. Auction houses are paying premiums higher than anything seen a decade ago. And coins like the 1952 S penny aren't just valuable, they're scarce. As more are found, authenticated, and absorbed into private collections, the number available to the public drops. And when demand rises while supply shrinks, prices don't just increase, they skyrocket. This is where you begin to understand why people who recognize these opportunities early often build extraordinary wealth from the simplest things. Financial breakthroughs rarely come in dramatic packages. Sometimes they come inside old jars, wooden boxes, and forgotten envelopes. All you need is awareness and action. But here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. The real twist isn't just the $678,000 sale. It's the fact that multiple variations of the 1952 S penny exist, and some experts believe an even rarer, higher-value version may still be out there, undiscovered. Every collector whispers about it. Every auction house hopes to see it. And every person with a stash of pennies, well, they might be the one to find it. Imagine being that person. Imagine the moment you open your hand and realize your entire lifestyle is about to be elevated to a level you once thought belonged only to someone else. This is why people are selling rare coins and transforming their financial futures. This is why the smart move is to search now, not later. As we close, take a deep breath and let this sink in. A single 1952 S penny error coin has proven itself capable of delivering a six-figure windfall. And the next one could be anywhere. In a drawer, in a box, in a jar, in your home. If that doesn't spark urgency, nothing will. The wealth is out there, waiting. The only question left is, will you find yours? Imagine waking up tomorrow morning and discovering that a tiny, dusty penny sitting in an old jar in your house is worth more than most luxury homes in America. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me, because today we're diving deep into the astonishing story of the 1955 no-mint mark penny error coin, one of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatics, and why its current market value has soared all the way to $892,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single cent now worth nearly $1 million. Before you think, well, that couldn't happen to me, let me stop you right there. Because stories like this don't belong only to the lucky few. They belong to the people who take action, people who pay attention, people just like you. Now, if your heart just skipped a beat thinking about the old coins tucked away in your drawers, your attic, or that forgotten coffee can your grandparents left behind, good. You should feel that excitement. You should feel that curiosity. Because somewhere out there, someone is holding this coin without even knowing it. And the only real question is, could it be you? But before we jump ahead, let's pull back the curtain and uncover why this ordinary-looking penny is creating extraordinary wealth. And yes, before we're done, I'll reveal exactly what makes this coin so rare, the kinds of tiny details most people overlook, and why collectors are practically racing to secure one before prices skyrocket even higher. Don't blink, because every second you stay with me could get you one step closer to discovering a life-changing treasure hiding in plain sight. Let's travel back to America in 1955. The country was booming. The average gallon of gas cost 23 cents. Disney had just opened its gates, and the U.S. Mint, working around the clock, was stamping pennies by the millions. But here's where fate stepped in and quietly created one of the most valuable minting mistakes in U.S. history. During one late-night shift at the Philadelphia Mint, a misalignment occurred in the dies used to stamp the penny. It was so subtle that workers didn't catch it, but bold enough to create a unique visual shift in the lettering and design. A mistake, a fluke, a microscopic anomaly that gave birth to a numismatic legend. These error pennies slipped into circulation unnoticed, spending decades passing from hand to hand, pocket to pocket, grocery counter to grocery counter, quietly hiding among billions of normal cents. Now, here's where it gets thrilling. As collectors began piecing together the existence of this error coin, demand skyrocketed. And with demand came the rise in value, slowly at first, then sharply, then explosively. And while many rare coins fade from attention, this one became a superstar. But what's even more exciting is this. Experts believe there are still unclaimed 1955 no-mint mark error pennies hiding in old family collections. Coins that could easily be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars today. Now, quick pattern interrupt. Have you ever wondered why we call them pennies when the U.S. Mint officially calls them cents? I mean, the poor coin has an identity crisis and still ends up paying for someone's dream home. But back to the serious stuff. Not every 1955 penny is worth a fortune, of course. But the ones with the specific misalignment, the true error strike, are in incredibly high demand. And here's where your pulse should rise just a little. Because the difference between a regular penny and an $892,000 penny sometimes comes down to details you can spot with the naked eye. Even more exciting, many people have no idea these details even exist, which means the opportunity is very real, very alive, and still very much in your favor. But don't get too comfortable, because in a moment, I'm going to reveal the exact features that determine whether your penny is just 1 cent or the ticket to a lifestyle of financial freedom and luxury. And trust me, once you hear this, you'll never look at old coins in the same way again, so let's get to the moment you've been waiting for. The defining characteristics of the 1955 no-mint mark wheat penny error, the ones that separate the million-dollar gems from the ordinary copper discs. The most striking feature is the doubling effect visible on the obverse. The letters in Liberty show a dramatic shift. The date 1955 appears almost blurry, as if shadowed. And the phrase, "In God We Trust," displays an unmistakable doubled appearance. These visual clues make this coin an undeniable showstopper in the numismatic world. Now here's the emotional punch. Countless Americans have handled this coin without realizing what it was. Some used it in vending machines. Some dropped it into tip jars. Some vacuumed it out of their couch and threw it away. The fear of missing out is real because while others ignored these details, the people who paid attention became wealthy. Collectors today aren't just interested, they're competing fiercely. Auctions report record-breaking sales, with the highest verified market value now reaching an astonishing $892,000. And as demand grows, experts predict that the next wave of sales could push this coin past the $1 million mark. Yes, we're talking 7 figures for a single penny. And here's the cliffhanger that should motivate you to act immediately. This may be the last era in which ordinary Americans still have a chance to find these coins in personal circulation. Every year, more collectors buy them up, more investors lock them in vaults, and fewer remain in the wild. The window is closing, and those who hesitate risk watching the opportunity slip away forever. So what should you do next? You should start searching. Start checking every old jar, every inherited box, every drawer, every forgotten envelope. Because the wealth you dream about, the financial freedom you deserve, the lifestyle you want to create, could be hiding in the smallest, simplest place imaginable. And if you're still watching, you're not just someone who's curious, you're someone who's ready. Someone who sees opportunity where others see pocket change. Someone who might just hold the next $892,000 penny in their hands. The only question left is, will you take action before someone else does? Because your life-changing discovery might be sitting just a reach away. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into an old jar of coins, and discovering a single penny, just one, that could instantly elevate your bank account by nearly $900,000. Yes, $900,000. It sounds unreal, maybe even impossible, but stay with me, because today we're diving into a silent superstar of American numismatics. The 1956 no-mint Mark Wheat penny error coin, a tiny piece of copper that has turned everyday Americans into high-net-worth sellers overnight. And if you're watching this, your financial breakthrough might already be sitting in your home, completely unnoticed. Before we go deeper, take a second and answer this in your mind. How many old pennies have you seen in the last year and simply ignored? Probably dozens, maybe hundreds. Now here's the terrifying part. One of those ignored pennies could have been worth up to $892,000 in today's market. Yes, $892,000. If that doesn't make your heart skip, check your pulse. And don't go running to your coin jar just yet, because what I'm about to reveal next is far more crucial than what's inside that jar. Act I begins with understanding the mystery surrounding the 1956 no-mint Mark Wheat penny. At first glance, it looks ordinary, simple, unassuming, almost invisible. But like many wealthy individuals know, true value often hides in plain sight. This penny comes from an era when the U.S. Mint was pushing production hard, and that high-pressure environment created some of the most valuable and rare errors in American coin history. These weren't intentional. They weren't advertised. They simply happened in the chaos of minting millions of coins. And in that chaos arose a mistake so rare that collectors today compete fiercely to own just one. If you've ever wondered what it feels like to hold something the entire collector world wants, this is exactly that feeling. Now, before we move to the reveal of why this penny is worth so much, let me pause with a quick pattern interrupt. Have you ever stared at a penny so closely that people around you started questioning your life choices? If not, get ready, because by the end of this video, you'll be examining every penny like it owes you money. Which, in this case, it literally might. Act 2 opens with the power behind the value, error rarity. You see, the 1956 no-mint Mark Wheat penny that skyrockets into the six-figure and even high six-figure territory isn't just any penny. It's part of a microscopic percentage of coins struck incorrectly in a way that amplifies its desirability. When collectors search for high-value coins, they chase a combination of rarity, error type, and pristine condition. And this coin hits all three like a lottery-winning ticket. The absence of a mint mark alone means it came from the Philadelphia Mint, but the special error variation associated with this year, especially certain die anomalies and striking misalignments, compounds its value dramatically. That rarity has launched bidding wars and private auction battles fierce enough to make Wall Street traders jealous. But here's the cliffhanger. Most people who have one of these coins have absolutely no idea what they're holding. They sell it as a regular penny, donate it, ignore it, or worse, spend it. And every single time one of these coins disappears from circulation, the value of the remaining one skyrockets. That's why today's market sits confidently at an astonishing $892,000 for top-grade examples. And if you're thinking this is hype, let me assure you, the demand is real, the buyers are ready, and the market is hungrier than ever. Act 3 begins with the emotional punch of opportunity. If you're watching this video, chances are you're someone who understands value. Someone who wants to elevate their lifestyle, their finances, and maybe even rewrite their family's future. The incredible truth is that rare pennies like the 1956 no-mint Mark Wheat penny don't require luck. They require awareness. The wealthy don't get richer because they work harder. They get richer because they recognize hidden value before anyone else does. And right now, you are recognizing it. This tiny copper coin, born in 1956, carries the power to unlock life-changing money. Money that could pay off a home, launch a business, or simply create the ease and abundance you've been working toward. As we approach the final moments of this story, let me ask you something. What if the life you want is already sitting quietly in a drawer, a piggy bank, a coin album, or a forgotten box in your attic? What if your key to wealth has been waiting for you to notice it? That's not just exciting, it's urgent. Rare coins don't wait. Markets move, values rise, opportunities disappear. And every day that passes is another day someone else discovers the fortune that could have been yours. So here's your last cliffhanger, and it might be the most important one. The 1956 no-mint mark wheat penny isn't the only one worth big money. There are others, some even more shocking, more valuable, more life-changing. And in the next video, I'm going to reveal the hidden set of pennies that even collectors whisper about. But for now, take this moment seriously. Check your coins. Study them, because you may be holding a six-figure treasure, and the world of rare coins is buying faster than ever. There's a coin out there, quiet, unassuming, hiding in old jars and dusty drawers across America, that just turned the coin-collecting world upside down. A humble 1-cent piece, born in 1958, stamped with a simple D, now exploding in value and recently stunning collectors with a jaw-dropping market price of $777,000. Yes, penny, worth the price of a luxury home. If that made your heart jump a little, good. Because by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly why this 1958 D wheat penny is turning ordinary Americans into extraordinary success stories, and why yours, if you have one, might be the next life-changing discovery. Before we dive deep, picture this. Someone opens an old family box expecting nothing more than dusty memories, and instead finds a penny worth more than their yearly salary. Suddenly, retirement looks closer. That dream vacation feels real. That wealthy lifestyle once imagined becomes completely possible. And it all begins with a single copper coin. Now, if you're thinking, a penny? Really? That's exactly why the story is so electrifying. The 1958 D wheat penny error isn't just rare. It's legendary. Most people have never seen one. Most people don't even know it exists. And yet it's out there, sitting quietly, waiting for the right pair of hands to recognize its power. What makes this penny so valuable? That's where the plot thickens. Because the story behind this coin sounds almost like an accident the universe forgot to erase. And in a moment, I'll reveal the error that transforms this everyday cent into a six-figure fortune. But before that, ask yourself this. When was the last time you checked your old coins? Really check them. Collectors aren't chasing this coin because it's old. They're chasing it because the error hidden within it is so scarce, so mysterious, and so technically fascinating that the coin market has turned it into a treasure hunt of national proportions. The 1958 D penny carries a rare misstrike. An error that occurred during minting so subtle yet so unmistakable to trained eyes that it becomes instantly recognizable. This is the type of error that happens once in an era. An accidental masterpiece created in the middle of a routine production run. And here's the part that makes collectors lose sleep over this coin. Almost none survived. The few that did have soared into the highest demand the coin world has seen in years. The last confirmed market sale shocked experts at an astounding $777,000. Not because the coin is cute, quirky, or interesting, but because it is history. It is rarity frozen in metal. It is the ultimate collector's prize. Imagine holding something worth more than a fully loaded Tesla, in the size of your thumbnail. Yet, here's the question no one expects. If these coins are so rare, why do so many collectors quietly believe a few are still out there? Why do experts say we haven't seen the last of them? I'll reveal that answer shortly, but first, let me interrupt this intense treasure hunt with a quick pattern reset. If you're suddenly tempted to run to your coin jar, don't worry. Stay until the end, then run. The dog won't steal your pennies, I promise. Unless your dog collects rare coins, in which case we need to talk. Now let's talk value, the part that transforms curiosity into action. The 1958 D wheat penny error is at an all-time high. Collectors are competing harder than ever. Auction houses are aggressively hunting for new specimens. And the moment one appears, the bidding wars ignite instantly. This isn't a slow market. This is a high-velocity, high-demand, high-pressure chase. It means that if you possess one, even in moderately collectible condition, you're holding a high-ticket asset in one of the most explosive numismatic markets of the decade. And if your coin happens to be in pristine condition, bright surfaces, crisp edges, minimal wear, its value doesn't just rise, it multiplies. People are inheriting estates worth less than their penny collections right now. People are paying off mortgages. People are rewriting their retirement plans. Experts believe more 1958 error cents exist, hidden away in private hands, lost in coffee cans, sleeping inside old pocketbooks, forgotten in childhood collections. They are waiting quietly for someone like you to uncover them. So the real question is simple. Have you already walked past a fortune without knowing it? If you're watching this, you are not here by coincidence. You're part of a growing group of Americans who understand that wealth isn't always found in stock markets or crypto charts. Sometimes, wealth is found in things passed down by grandparents, in drawers, in boxes, in memories. This market is strong. The demand is fierce. And opportunities like this do not last forever. The next 1958 error penny to surface could very well come from someone watching this video. Could rewrite their life story. It could be the turning point that opens the door to that wealthy lifestyle you've always envisioned. So when this video ends, I want you to do something powerful. Check your coins. Examine your collections. Look for that 1958 with the telltale signs of a minting miracle. Because the next chapter of the story has not been written yet, and your discovery might be the one that the coin world has been waiting for. And if you find it well, you might just become the next name whispered with awe in the collector community. Imagine opening an old jar of coins, the same jar that has followed you from house to house for decades, and inside it lies a penny, just a single brown coin, worth more than most luxury homes in America. Sounds unbelievable, right? But stay with me because today we're diving into the astonishing story of the 1958 no-mint mark wheat penny, a treasure hiding in plain sight, with one example recently valued at a staggering $961,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, nearly $1 million for a coin that most people would walk past on the sidewalk. And the truly thrilling part? These coins are still circulating in private collections, drawers, and forgotten boxes across the country. One of them could be yours. Now, before we move too fast, let me tell you something that might send a shiver down your spine. Most people who owned one of these rare 1958 wheat pennies had no idea what they had. Some tossed them, some spent them, some lost them forever. But the select few who recognized the subtle errors, they changed their lives. Their stories aren't about luck. They're about knowing what to look for. And that's exactly what you're about to learn. Act 1 begins with a time capsule, America 1958. A year of booming optimism, shiny new cars, rock and roll crackling from every diner jukebox, and the final chapter of the iconic wheat penny series. The U.S. Mint was transitioning to the Lincoln Memorial design, and as production shifted, something unusual happened on the minting floor. A small batch of wheat pennies, struck with an extremely rare error, slipped into circulation. They had no mint mark. They had microscopic print anomalies. Certain letters weren't aligned perfectly. And these tiny imperfections, these invisible fingerprints, would eventually become the reason one of these coins skyrocketed close to the $1 million mark. Isn't it amazing how something so small can hold such enormous financial power? Like finding a diamond in a sandbox. If you actually knew what a diamond looked like. As we transition into Act 2, the real suspense begins. Collectors today aren't just searching, they're on a mission. The demand for rare wheat pennies, especially error coins, has never been higher. Auctions are exploding with record-breaking prices. Private buyers are offering cash far above guidebook estimates. And the 1958 no-mint mark wheat penny has become the crown jewel everyone wants to claim. But here's what nobody tells you. The rarest examples were not discovered in museums or estates, but in everyday homes. A family cleaning out an attic found one in a jar. Another person discovered one in a box of childhood keepsakes. These discoveries weren't planned. They were stumbled upon. And yet, they changed everything. But don't get too comfortable. Let me interrupt with a quick question. When was the last time you actually checked your old coins? Seriously, do you even know where they are? There's a decent chance you have a small fortune hiding somewhere between old receipts and birthday cards. Funny how we panic when we can't find our car keys, but forget we're sitting on potential six-figure collectibles. Now imagine the regret of finding out you once owned a penny worth $961,000, and you unknowingly gave it away as change for a cup of coffee. Painful, right? That's why your attention right now, this very moment, could be worth more than you think. Act 3 brings us to the climax. Identifying and valuing the legendary 1958 no-mint mark wheat penny today. Professional graders and auction houses are aggressively seeking specimens. Investors are treating rare pennies like luxury real estate, assets that grow year after year. And the current market value? It's soaring. The most pristine example recently hit that unbelievable $961,000 mark, and experts believe the next one discovered could push even higher. The market isn't slowing down. It's heating up. There is urgency in the air, and every day someone delays checking their old coins is a day someone else steps ahead of them. But here's the cliffhanger, the twist most people don't see coming. There are still undiscovered error pennies from 1958 out there. Not dozens, not hundreds, just a handful. And the next one could show up anywhere. In your drawer, in your late father's toolbox, in a forgotten coin roll in your safe. This isn't fantasy. It's reality backed by collectors, auction results, and the explosive rise of rare coin valuations. So here's your moment. Before this video ends, commit to doing one thing. Look. Search your collection, your closets, your jars. Don't assume this opportunity belongs to someone else. People watching videos just like this ended up becoming the next big discovery story. Why not you? You deserve the chance to live wealthier, freer, and smarter, and sometimes all it takes is one coin to rewrite your future. And as we close, stay with this final thought. Opportunity doesn't knock loudly. Sometimes it looks like an old, ordinary penny that the world has forgotten. But today, you know better. Today, you know exactly what that penny could be worth. Nearly $1 million. And possibly even more tomorrow. The only question left is, will you find it before someone else does?